I built this ripping tooth about, I think, a month and a half ago, and I've used it on a couple of stumps, but I'm still learning. I made a video all about welding this thing up and getting the pattern prototyped and cut out. And if you're interested, you can check that out. But today, I'm reminded of a couple of things that I've learned over and over through the years. And the first of those is, when you take a chance and buy or build a tool that you think you might use, you know what? The work to use that tool on is going to show up, and it's going to keep showing up. And the second thing is that owning even one small piece of heavy equipment is going to improve your life, and probably the lives of pretty much everybody around you. I went to high school with Keith, and then our lives took different paths. He made a career out of helping people in a big way as a registered nurse, most of that in providing hospice care, part of that including providing hospice care for my mom while she was failing. And so now I get a chance to help Keith back a little bit. He needs 3 stumps pulled out while the weather is dry so we don't tear up the yard unnecessarily, a white oak, an incense cedar, and a Japanese maple. Now my machine is a little small for this, but between the excavator and double purchase, mechanical advantage with a pulley and a line, I think we're going to rip these things right out. I think maybe the biggest thing that I've learned here today that's new is just how profoundly different tree species grow their root systems. White oak, incense cedar, maple, just as different below the ground as they are above it.
There it goes. It's coming.
Is it even shivering?
Yeah, it's moving a little bit.
Yeah, just moving a little. Looks like it's
Looks like it's pulling loose.
still anchored.
Right in here maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. Got a good bite on the stump though. If we can get back in that same cut,
Yeah.
it'll hold it. Yeah.
The second thing that I've learned here today is that even with a double purchase, I need to dig out space for the stump to tip into when I'm finally trying to break it free. I should have known that. The roots on this cedar stump were all spreading out horizontally, and they were big, but because they were cedar, they were soft and brittle.
There you go.
One left. The backyard went good. Keith, did you pour some of that rot-producing material into this?
Did not. Just
Okay.
cut it with a chainsaw to start it, the process.
Yeah, to get it deteriorating.
Yeah.
We're going to accelerate that. This was probably a liquid amber, which is a sort of a Japanese maple, I think. There was, like I said, an incense cedar and a white oak. The incense cedar brought a lot more dirt with it. We got that broken off. It's in the trailer. We'll see how this comes out. It's the front yard now, so we need to be a little more scientific if we can. I think I have always loved fall best. The colors and the smells and the beautiful yellow light kind of slanting in from a lower sun angle and the knowledge that winter's just around the corner. Man, creation is just so beautiful. And it seems somehow maybe more appropriate to be tearing out trees or stumps or plants in the fall than it is in the spring. So this is not a big stump, but it's about as big a stump as a 10,000 machine's going to want to fool with without some real mechanical advantage. We've got it loosened up. The roots were big. It's been well watered and tended, so they're strong. I've got room all the way around it, and did I mention that the machine will wiggle it now? We got, just a little bit of rotation. I don't know if this thing sent a taproot straight down, but it doesn't matter. We're going to rig up a triple purchase, I think, partially to multiply that from a 10,000 pound machine to a 30,000 pound machine. And secondarily, there's not much room in this yard to be able to use. I've got an 80-foot strap. My big strap, this 3/4 inch strap, is 80 feet long, and I got to use up some of the length. And I've got a tree right there. So I'm going to use up a bunch of the length right here in order to set the machine just down the hill and hopefully be able to just tug this thing out. It'll take us a few minutes, but it'll be worth it. So it's a new deal. I left 2 pulleys and some more chokers in the other truck at home. Isn't that the way it goes? But I decided to use up the extra line on this 80-foot strap just by winding around the trunk of that tree. I've got it protected. I don't know how much it's going to render. I've got about 4 feet that block can travel before it comes up tight against the shackle. Should be plenty. If a double purchase is going to move it with that little tractor, I think I've got room to sit, room to grab, room to pull, and hopefully we've crippled that stump. We're going to know in about 5 minutes. So this is an example of when you've got good rigging, but not the right rigging for the job. You don't have good rigging. So we established that my strap is too long for the location of this tail hole, and as it turns out, my choker, my 3/4 inch choker, is too long for the location of the tail hold because everything rendered up tight 3 feet from the block to the tree. So I'm going to try to wind about 20 more feet of the strap around the tree, take another run at it, and see if we can pull that hard enough to crack it loose.
Yeah. There it goes.
Well, that wasn't pretty, and the stump's not in the trailer yet, but I think that we've just won the day. So you probably know by now that I enjoy metaphors and emblems and symbols and analogies, especially when they occur in nature. And pulling these stumps out and then editing this video is just one more example of that for me, because these stumps have demonstrated to me how different attachment to the ground is and how different trees grow and how secretive roots are, and yet how important. And the connection for me has been that the things that are happening in our lives below the surface, in our private moments, in our private spaces that add up so imperceptibly slowly, are just so important. They're critically important. They're unutterably important, because our roots, if we want to think of our lives as having roots or foundations, the strength that grounds and supports and nourishes us is something we almost never think about until the wind blows and until the floods come. And then we find out, sometimes in a moment, just how connected we are and what we have built our house, our lives, our short, fragile lives upon, while we weren't even paying attention. Whether it was on sand or hopefully, on the rock. Thanks for watching Essential Craftsman, and keep up the good work.